Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to India Speaks English. I'm your Guntur Naveen Kumar. ఇంగ్లీష్లో మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు am I sounding natural అనే డౌట్ ఎప్పుడైనా వచ్చిందా? Well, the secret might not be in your grammar, but something really cool called word stress. ఈరోజు మనం దాని గురించే నేర్చుకోబోతున్నాం.
మీకు ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఇంకా ఫ్లూయెంట్గా ఇంకా న్యాచురల్గా మాట్లాడాలని ఉందా? చాలామంది గ్రామర్ అండ్ వొకాబులరీ మీద ఫోకస్ చేస్తారు. అది కరెక్టే, కానీ ఒక చిన్నపాటి సీక్రెట్ని మిస్ అవుతారు. ఆ సీక్రెట్ ఏంటో ఈరోజు చూద్దాం.
ఎస్, ద కీ ఈజ్ మాస్టరింగ్ వర్డ్ స్ట్రెస్. అంటే ఒక పదాన్ని ఎలా పలకాలి అనేది. ఇది కరెక్ట్ ప్రొనౌన్సియేషన్కి ఫౌండేషన్ లాంటిది. డోంట్ వరీ, చాలా కాంప్లెక్స్గా ఏముండదు. ఈ లెసన్లో మనం కలిసి వర్డ్ స్ట్రెస్ని బ్రేక్ డౌన్ చేసి చాలా ఈజీగా నేర్చుకుందాం. రెడీ?
So, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll understand the building blocks, syllables and stress ante ento chuddam. Then, we'll unlock some powerful rules for prefixes, compounds and suffixes. We'll even tackle a pro-level trick called stress shift. And finally, we'll put it all into practice together. Let's begin. So, first things first, let's start with the absolute basics. To understand stress, we first need to understand what a syllable is. Think of them as the building blocks of any word's pronunciation.
So, a syllable is a single unit of pronunciation that has one vowel sound. సింపుల్గా చెప్పాలంటే ఒక వర్డ్ని మనం పలికేటప్పుడు వచ్చే చిన్న సౌండ్ యూనిట్స్ ఆర్ బీట్స్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, చూడండి, ద వర్డ్ క్యాట్ హ్యాస్ వన్ సింగిల్ బీట్, సో వన్ syllable. The word water has two beats, wa and ter, so two syllables. Simple. Now, look at this table. Chala interesting. Words are classified based on their syllable count. Pen, okate syllable, so it is monosyllabic. Paper has two, so it's disyllabic. Let's try it with the beat. Paper, tap tap. Banana, tap tap tap. See, each tap is a syllable. And consequences has four syllables, so it's polysyllabic. Chusar kada? Enta easy, no?
Okay, so what is word stress? It's the emphasis, a little extra power that we give to one specific syllable in a word. ఆ పర్టికులర్ సిలబుల్ని మనం కొంచెం లౌడర్, లాంగర్ అండ్ హయ్యర్ ఇన్ పిచ్ పలుకుతాం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, we don't say banana, right? We say banana. That extra power on na is the word stress. It's the word's beat.
Okay, now let's dive into the main rules. ఈ రూల్స్ మీకు థౌజండ్స్ ఆఫ్ వర్డ్స్లో స్ట్రెస్ ఎక్కడ పెట్టాలో ప్రెడిక్ట్ చేయడానికి చాలా హెల్ప్ చేస్తాయి. దీస్ ఆర్ యువర్ పవర్ రూల్స్ ఫర్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ ప్రొనౌన్సియేషన్.
Let's start with Rule 1. Words that begin with weak prefixes like a, b, con, or d. ఈ wordsలో అయితే ఉంటాయో, they usually have the stress on the second syllable. అంటే మనం ప్రీఫిక్స్ని స్ట్రెస్ చెయ్యం, దాని తర్వాత వచ్చే సిలబుల్ని స్ట్రెస్ చేస్తాం. Because these prefixes are often just unstressed helper parts of the word. Look at these examples. It's not alone, it's alone. Not become, but become. నాతో పాటు చెప్పండి. Really feel that stress. Alone, become, continue. See the difference it makes? Moving on to Rule 2. Compound words. A compound word is basically made of two separate words joined together, right? For most of these words, the stress falls on the first part, the first syllable of the first word. For example, tooth and paste make toothpaste. Foot and ball make football. We stress the first part. Other examples are bookshop and grandmaster. Very simple and very common.
Right. So just like the first part of a word is important for stress, sometimes the last part, or the suffix, is the biggest clue. Let's dive into how these word endings can completely change the stress pattern. Let's look at Rule 4a. Words ending in suffixes like e, ear, et, and q, they almost always have the stress on that last syllable itself. The suffix basically pulls the stress to the very end of the word. Let's practice these. Listen carefully as I emphasize the ending. Employee, engineer, cigarette, unique. The stress is right there at the end. Please repeat them out loud for better practice.
Now for a very common and super useful rule, Rule 4b. For words ending in ion, il, ik, or is, the stress is on the syllable just before the suffix. Just remember this trick. For words ending in shun or ik sounds, take one step back for the stress. Let's pronounce these, stressing the syllable before the end. Decoration, potential, patriotic, notorious. గమనించండి, stress అనేది ఈ suffix కి just ముందు వస్తుంది. This is a very, very important rule. Okay, now for a really interesting and important rule that can make a huge difference. Idi the stress shift. This is a pro-level tip for sounding much more natural in your English. Get ready for a fascinating rule. Some words in English are like chameleons. They change their meaning based on the stress. Look at the word record. If you stress the second syllable, record, it's a verb, an action. Please record this. But if you stress the first syllable, record, it becomes a noun, a thing. I have a record. Same spelling, but a completely different word, just depending on the stress. Interesting, right?
Okay, you've learned all the rules. ఇప్పుడు మనం నేర్చుకున్న రూల్స్ని టెస్ట్ చేద్దాం. It's time to apply these rules to some words from your exercises. Let's see how you do. All right, here's a question. Think about it. Where is the stress in the word television? Take a moment. Think about the ending. Which rule applies here? And the answer is television. The stress is on V. Enduku? Because of rule 4b. The word ends in ion, so the stress falls on the syllable just before it. Excellent. I hope you got it right. So what's the ultimate takeaway from all this? As the saying goes, practice makes one perfect. Mastering word stress isn't just about memorizing every word, it's about training your ear. Listen actively to how native speakers talk. And don't be afraid to practice these stress patterns yourself when you speak. It'll make a huge difference, trust me. I really hope you found this lesson on word stress helpful. If you did, please show your support with the like, share it with friends who might find it useful, and of course, subscribe to India Speaks English for more lessons like this one. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you're the first to know when a new lesson is out. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is your Guntur Naveen Kumar signing off. Keep learning and keep practicing.